Hey everyone, and welcome to my new channel, Iambic Scribe, my channel dedicated to all things writing. Thank you guys so much for those of you that have requested and have supported this idea. So this is where we're going to talk about creative writing lessons, how-tos, free writing exercises, as well as writing tips and advice. For today's video, this ended up being the first video. I had something else in mind, but this is the first video. It's very introductory, so this is for the beginner level writers out there. And I'm going to be titling this Writer versus Storyteller, Establishing a Purpose in Your Writing Journey. So it's a reflective, or I guess you could call it a motivational type of video, whereas in different videos, I'm going to really delve into the topics in depth of the instructional type of videos, such as how to develop plot, character, literary devices, and stuff like that. But for the purposes of today, you guys can feel free to grab a notebook and follow along if you would like. So we're going to focus on some questions of reflecting for today. So to help you guys kind of get into the flow or back into the flow of your writing, no matter what level you are at currently. So I have here write for passion. So that's pretty much the sort of vibe that I want to go for here. The topic is to write for passion and not for any other reason. If you're writing for passion, you're writing for joy, for purposes of joy and excitement and that inner flame of inspiration. And if you write for passion, you will always be able to continue writing, and you'll always be able to burst through any kind of blocks. Okay, so my goal for the video is pretty simple. It's just to reignite your passion, to develop your ideas, and to get you writing. So if you go along with me and if you have your notebook in front of you, you will already achieve that goal, which is to just simply start writing again, or to get writing if you haven't started at all. So here are going to be some questions for you. There's going to be 5 questions and then a bonus question at the end. And you can either just think about and reflect on what your answer would be, or you can pause the video and you can just write down what your answers would be. And if you want to take an extra step, you can comment you can let us know in the comment section some of your answers. That's totally up to you, obviously. So here are the 5 questions, and I'm just going to talk about each one just a little bit. And I would love to know you guys' thoughts on everything. So question 1. What within the writing experience brings you the most joy and excitement? So for this one, I actually really love literary devices. I love metaphor. I love simile. I love character development. And yes, I'm going to be doing videos separately for each of those topics because it is a whole explanation in itself. But ask yourself, what brings you the most joy, excitement, and passion within the whole experience of writing? This was probably the reason that you started writing. Maybe you like descriptions and writing descriptively. Maybe you like memoir. Maybe you like journal writing. Maybe you like movies. That's still a story that is developed, or even video games. So what within the whole writing experience, the whole writing realm, brings you that passion? And that really is where you can actually begin your journey, or kind of focus your journey on, because if that's what brings you the most joy, then that right there is where the flame is brightest. So again, you can pause, you can jot it down if you'd like, or just think about it. So we're going to move on to the next question. Question 2 is, what scene, character, or vision do you most clearly see in your head? So this one might sound kind of tricky, but I think that within each of us, we do, if you're truly a storyteller versus a writer, and the difference there is that a storyteller is focused on the creation aspect of things, right? Not just kind of getting words. Well, sometimes that's the case, but storytellers really want to create. So this is especially relevant for that. What do you see in your head? Do you see clearly this vision of a character, this world that you're be able to channel, and you're able to see sort of glimpses of this world? Maybe it's a particular scene. Maybe it's not actually something that you can see, but you can hear it. So what do you have with clarity in your head now, or that you've always had, that you want to further develop? So my answer for this one is probably what I saw most clearly in my head for a long, long time, and I'm talking years, was what ended up being the climax and prologue of a book that I was working on. The scene was so clear in my head, and every time that I listened to a particular song, this scene in my head would keep getting more vivid. Okay, so for you guys, I'm interested to know what that is for you. So the next question, question 3. How or what do you want to make your readers feel after they read your writing? So this is gonna probably be based off of, let's say, the genre, which is the next question. But for me, being that my favorite genre is a psychological thriller, I want to make my readers feel a little bit afraid, anxious or curious, intrigued. I want them to feel thrilled. I want them to have that sort of anxiety and tension that's only acceptable within the writing realm and within the creative realm. How do you guys want your readers to feel? Do you want them to feel inspired? Do you want them to feel romanced? Do you want them to feel excited in any way? Do you want them to feel completely engrossed within what they're reading and get lost within the pages? Okay, so we're going to move on to question 4. Again, pause if you need to. Question 4. What genre in writing do you feel most connected to? So clearly you don't have to limit yourself. You can write about any genre at all. You can challenge yourself and do something totally different than you're used to. But my first question is, what do you feel most connected to? So I already gave you my answer for that one, psychological thriller. It's a mix between the realms of psychology and all aspects of the human mind, and mental illness could be involved with this as well, and thriller. So it's a nice mix of those two worlds, and I have always felt connected to it. So maybe some of you guys might be most connected to romance, or regular thriller without the psycho part, mystery, or science fiction, or fantasy. There's all kinds of wonderful genres to choose from. It might be the answer to, if you walk into a bookstore, what section do you gravitate towards first? Are there certain covers that you like to see? Are there certain titles that you're intrigued by the most? So answering this question will actually help you to kind of settle into a groove or a place that you feel like you belong. So sort of like home, okay? So where do you feel home within the writing realm and within the genres themselves? I'd really love to know your answer for that one and why. Okay, so the next and final question, question 5, what important themes do you want to explore or convey in your writing? I love the concept of themes. It is just so much fun for me. There's unlimited themes, right? But some sort of classic ones would be themes of love, hatred, revenge, coming of age, good versus evil, or redemption. Did I say that already? I get so lost in it. So some themes, like I said, it can be anything under the sun. Again, you don't have to limit yourself. Try to think of books that you have really enjoyed. Think of movies or any aspect of creativity at all. There are themes that are coming out. There's messages that the creator is trying to convey here. So ask yourself, what message, what theme do you want to put out there into the world? What is important for you to say within your creativity, within your writing? And I think that your works, whatever you're writing on, your projects, your books, your short stories, your poems, whatever it is at all that you're developing, your themes are going to be very, very clear. And each theme has to be that important to you, because that's your inspiration coming through in the pages. Okay, so going back, just to recap, we have what brings you the most joy, excitement, and therefore passion. What is that vision you see most clearly in your head? How do you want your readers to feel after they've read your writing? What genre do you feel connected to? And what themes, and I'll say as well, what messages do you have to convey to your audience? All right. So just some things to just brainstorm on. Again, this was an introductory video meant for the purposes of reflection, so that while answering these questions, you can begin to stir and reignite that passion that you have, that natural passion that you have for writing. So one final bonus question is, what is your biggest goal in your writing career? And another way of looking at this might be something like, where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years within your writing journey? So my answer to this one, you know, my biggest goal, I have so many different book ideas in my head. My first goal is to friggin' sit there and write the darn thing because it just hasn't happened for me yet. In a different video, I'm going to talk about all kinds of tips that might help you guys. I'm going to talk about book writing in depth. Okay, my biggest goal though is to write the psychological thriller. I also have my self-help / memoir book that I'm working through, and eventually a series. That one, this is not my choosing. It's just what was called, you know, what I felt inspired and what was sort of calling to me. So I kind of have to do it now. I have no choice. So how did it go? All right, so think about your answers. You know, just you can either write it down now or maybe just kind of keep these questions with you. I will repost them again in the description just in case you need it, or the comments, whichever. And I'm so interested to know you guys' feedback. So the final thing is that in the description, I also have included a writing excerpt that I wrote. It was a couple of months ago, and I hope to include a writing excerpt in each video description. So the videos that I'm going to be doing next, these are really going to be the more meaty videos. So tips for beginners, how-to videos, and more writing exercises. Within each video, I hope to give you free writing I hope to give you writing exercises so that you can actually use those and, you know, take your notebook out and be able to brainstorm based off of the material that I'm giving you guys. I'm really, really excited. So thank you guys so much for being here. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you found this helpful, and if you feel so called to check out my other channel just in case you didn't come from there. So thank you once again, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.